President Biden, folks, is traveling to more states to draw up more support for his bipartisan infrastructure package, as well as additional plans for investing in families. But governors are criticizing Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer for not already passing the infrastructure bill. What are your thoughts on Speaker Pelosi, everybody, and the Democrats? And who do you think is holding back our stimulus check? Is it senators like Joe Manchin, or is it Mitch McConnell? Tell me who's to blame, everybody, for holding back the fourth stimulus check. Feel free to comment down below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. On this channel, folks, I always do my best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. Now, President Biden...
And we made a decision there and then that our top priority would be to get you relief, to get working people relief, to get checks in pockets and tax credits in bank accounts. And with the help of this labor union, we delivered that relief. And I want to thank you on behalf of the President and myself for the work you did.
Just talked up his bipartisan infrastructure package, as well as additional plans for investing in families and education. President Biden is on a trip to Michigan. It's part of his broader campaign by the administration to bring public support to the infrastructure package and other policies that are geared toward families and education. First Lady Joe Biden is going to Maine and New Hampshire as well, while Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to visit a union training center in Las Vegas. Joe Biden said the key is getting his $973 billion deal passed involves taking a case straight to the voters, while Republicans and Democrats might squabble in Washington. Biden's theory is that lawmakers of both parties want to deliver for the constituents. White House officials negotiated the compromise with a bipartisan group of senators led by Republican Rob Portman of Ohio and Democrat Kirsten Sinema of Arizona. The agreement features $109 billion on roads and highways, $15 billion on electric vehicle infrastructure and transit systems, and $65 billion toward broadband, among other spending on airports, drinking water system, in an effort to take down climate change. The White House officials negotiated the compromise with a bipartisan group of senators led by Republican Rob Portman and Kirsten Sinema.
There is a move not to preserve Social Security from those on the other side of the aisle, too many of them, but to end it.
The president intends to pass additional initiatives on education and families, as well as tax increases on the wealthy and corporations through the budget reconciliation process. This would allow the passage of President Biden's priorities by a simple majority vote, avoiding the 60-vote hurdle and a Senate split evenly between the Democrats and Republicans. But during a town hall meeting, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan toward House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer for holding the bipartisan infrastructure bill endorsed by Biden in order to gain leverage on other spending bills. Larry Hogan spoke about the $953 billion infrastructure bill that was endorsed by Biden, saying the plan will put Americans back to work and will improve the American infrastructure. Hogan called the bipartisan bill a moment for us to show the American people that Congress is able to work together to deliver bipartisan, common sense solutions to all of our problems. What are your thoughts on Speaker Pelosi, everybody, and Chuck Schumer? Are they doing all that it takes to help out the American people like you and I? Leave a comment down below, folks, saying yes or no. Governor Hogan also stated that they're holding the bill as leverage for other spending bills, that we can debate about whether these are worthwhile proposals or not, but they have nothing to do with infrastructure and they don't have bipartisan support. The governor of Maryland then talked about President Biden, saying that instead of taking the huge win that he seemed to have wanted to make happen, President Biden is risking the derailing of the bipartisan agreement. Well, folks, the White House pointed to comments that Press Secretary Jen Psaki made on Tuesday, where she stated that Biden made clear that he's going to work his heart out on getting both bills across the finish line. In regards to your tax refunds, folks, the March American Rescue Plan excludes the first $10,200 of unemployment benefits as non-taxable income. The tax agency said at least 13 million people who filed their tax returns before the change in the law took place may be eligible for a refund. The tax break is for those who earned less than $150,000 in AGI, or just the gross income. The $10,200 is the amount of income exclusion for single filers, not the amount of the refund. The amount of the refund will vary per person depending on overall income, tax bracket, and how much earnings came from unemployment benefits. Folks, that's all the news in this video. And if you guys found this video useful and helpful, feel free to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. As always, everybody, I truly appreciate everybody's amazing support. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
to salute the chairman of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, Chairman Peter DeFazio. Because of his leadership, we are bringing a bill to the floor today that not only builds the infrastructure of America, but helps to rebuild the middle class. It does so in a transformative way, and you'll hear about it from our colleagues here. And in doing so, it does so with equity. That's what I'm so proud of in the bill. It puts equity front and center, benefits targeted underserved communities, communities of color, rural communities, and regions with persistent poverty, in addition to everything else. It's called the Invest in America Act, a strong jobs-creating package that seizes the once-in-a-century opportunity to rebuild America's infrastructure. Thanks to our chairman, Mr. DeFazio, who has decades of experience in all of this, and in doing so in a bipartisan way. Also, thanks to Chairman Frank Paulo of the Energy and Commerce Committee for the water aspects, and he'll talk about that. We're joined by Eleanor Holmes Norton. She will be Eleanor Holmes Norton, chair of the T&I Subcommittee on Highway and Transit, so important in all of this. Representative Donald Payne of New Jersey, Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials. Sharice Davids, Vice Chair of the newish member of Congress, effective from the start, Vice Chair of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Paul Tonko, Chair of Energy and Commerce Subcommittee on Environment and Climate Change. Thank you for your leadership. And not with us, but with us in terms of developing the policy, Grace Napolitano of California, who's been really a champion in water resources, and she's on the Water Resources and Transportation Subcommittee. This is all to say that these are some of the people, a good deal of the leadership, to bring these pieces of legislation to the floor, but all part of what President Biden has presented to us to build back better, and build back better in a way that many more people will participate in the shall we say, the prosperity that this building back better will bring to our country. And so, without further ado, it is my pleasure, honor, privilege to yield to the distinguished chair of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, with recognition of his years of service there, his understanding that to build back better, we have to do so with a responsibility to our children, to save the planet, to do so with equity.